actually before the day's over. But I'll tell you what, everybody if you get online at AAPSonline.org, sign up for our emails, and that way you'll get our alert, or just check back at the website in the next day or so, because this will come to the floor of the Senate. It's fast-tracked, and I'm expecting by Monday, we're going to see a vote, maybe Tuesday, but we're talking about really 3 days, because they have voted to limit debate. They did that yesterday. They're playing not fast and loose. They're using the rules to get it through. Sometimes that's a good thing, but...
Well, obviously, from the provisions, it's all unconstitutional. It is carte blanche dictatorship. And I hope people will go to aapsonline.org or link through at Infowars.com. We've got a hyperlink there on the main page.
Right.
In the guest section, I hope people get involved and fight this. In the last 30 seconds, what's going on with that Circuit Court Appeals ruling where they can grab any citizen? What's going on with that Circuit Court Appeals ruling where they can grab any citizen and force drug us for decades if they wish?
Oh, really good news. That's going to the Supreme Court. We just found out about 10 days ago the Supreme Court has agreed to hear the case this term.
And again, what Circuit Court of Appeals said they can grab any citizen and force drug them?
That was in the 5th out of St. Louis.
All right, thank you so much for
good
joining.
news on that front.
All right, thank you for joining us, Catherine. Take care there in D.C. Yeah, it said without even charging you, you can grab any citizen, force drug them forever with any drugs and then not release what drugs. Sounds like America, huh? All right, your calls are coming up, Barney and Stan and Fred and Craig and many, many others here momentarily. In this quick segment, we've got Declan McCullough, award-winning journalist and chief political correspondent for CNET News. He also writes for Wired and does a lot of work on international law going on with the Internet. And we know with the Total Information Awareness Network and Poindexter and the rest of it that it's total military occupation. They wanted to add a Internet tracker number to everything you do on the web, and you'd have to use a virtual browser that we offer at Infowars.net unless you wanted them tracking everything you do. This is total Fourth Amendment violations. They're talking about in the tens of billions a week. Declan, good to have you on the show, sir.
Hi there. Thank you for the invitation.
So, what in the New World Order is really going on, Declan?
well put. It's a little unclear. I mean, the problem is that a lot of these are proposals in progress, and you've got these working papers and all these PowerPoint presentations, and you're trying to figure out what the government actually means. But what we do know, and this is largely due to the reporting of the New York Times, there was a plan to tag Internet users with unique identifiers so your email and web browsing would have these unique identifiers, and if you were trying to go to a secure area of the Internet and you did not have these identifiers, let's say you're coming from a country that didn't require or have this, then you would not be allowed in.
And that's what the European Union's been asking for, is a way to block their public from Australia to England from our websites.
Yeah, well, the Europeans are a separate and somewhat wacky story. But the broad theme here is that this is coming out of DARPA, a Defense Department agency, and another Defense Department project that's also coming out of DARPA is one that is headed by John Poindexter, the retired admiral who got into trouble over Iran-Contra. Then you have the Department of Homeland Security bill signed into law by President Bush less than an hour ago that makes it easier for police to spy on Internet traffic and telephone conversations without a court order first. It allows Internet providers like AOL or corporations or universities or what have you to turn over confidential information about subscribers.
Well, that's a hallmark of Homeland Security, is actually paying big Fortune 500 companies to be spies for the government, then not letting corporate employees blow the whistle on that.
Well put. So what you have, the Poindexter program, the tagging internet users suggestion, the Department of Homeland Security, now law. All this is coming together in sort of a perfect storm to limit Americans' privacy and increase government secrecy, and so it's exactly the wrong direction.
So they're burrowing in even deeper secretly, giving themselves more powers, taking our rights, while leaving the north and southern borders wide open.
Yes. What we should be doing is going the other direction. We should be protecting privacy while trying to prevent terrorism, but increasing our ability to conduct oversight of government. I mean, we know that some government people, bureaucrats, agencies are perfectly honorable and accountable, but you can't trust all of them. And so that's why you need open government laws and that kind of thing, which is what the Bush administration is trying to shield against, and the Department of Homeland Security specifically disallowed.
Now, they'll say, we're not going to do the TIPS program now, but go ahead and ram forward with it. Certainly this internet tagging thing isn't dead. We know Echelon's already been doing this for decades. Now they're just going public with this plan, aren't they?
They are, and this is, but it wasn't because they wanted to. They didn't choose to say, hey, here's our plan, hold a press conference, or maybe another way would have been to brief Congress and say this is what kind of scheme we're concocting. That at least would have had the veneer of some sort of public oversight. What happens is that reporters get a hold of these documents, and then they get leaked out in the press. I mean, this is not a way to run a government. If you want to spy on every American, at least have the balls to get up there and say this is what we're doing. Don't try to hide it behind closed doors. And then when you're found out, say, we never meant to do this. I mean, that's just sneaky and wrong.
Well, Declan McCullough, you're right. You're the chief Washington bureau chief for Wired News, also political correspondent, chief political correspondent for CNET.news.com. I really do appreciate you joining us, and can we have you back up as this thing develops?
I would love to do it.
Fire out those websites real quick for us.
News.com, also politechbot.com. That's politechbot.com.
We've got links to that on Infowars.com. Thanks. Your calls are coming up.